The grime style has echoes of the grotesque art and zombie aesthetic. All in all, on the internet, you can often find works in this style with tag zombie grime. How is it created? Photos or video, imports into a graphic editor, and further, user draws flowing liquid frame by frame. Grime focuses almost exclusively on portraits. The demeaning images of this aesthetic provides a humanizing aspect as well. Some photos, imprinted in our brains as examples of universal beauty, can begin to seem closer to reality by coming into contact with dirty art. When the subject of image becomes a celebrity like Donald Trump, Marilyn Monroe, or the Statue of Liberty as a puddle of toxic waste, it is clear to us that the artist is working to degrade something iconic that personifies that image, not to degrade the person itself. An important video work in this aesthetic is video HUD splitter. It seems that the grime here tells the same story over and over again, with the same narratives. At the same time, in the video we have seen the grime technique is complemented by other animation elements and styles like web punk. You can also find similar design elements in the covers of books for the series of children's horror stories Goosebumps. Just there, glossy images of dolls or garden gnomes are neighboring filthy toxic slime and its derivative monsters. Abstract tag aesthetic, in general, is meant to evoke a sense of something futuristic or technologically advanced. It is used in the design of user interfaces and cyberspaces, as well as to convey other technological images from science fiction. The catalyst for the boom in such images was the major projects of the film industry: Minority Report, Iron Man, and Tron Legacy. Term HUD combines all the small elements that make up the animation source: glowing lines, concentric arcs, circles, hexagons, circuits, binary code, connected dots, robotics. Inspiration can be found in the queries: technology, high-tech, digital, or cyber. Surrealism. Paradoxicality, which in some ways continues the masterpieces of Salvador Dalí and René Magritte, is also generally characteristic to digital art. It is the most diverse style in terms of techniques, elements, colors. The availability of 3D modeling, thanks to this soft blender, has allowed a lot of talented video art artists to appear on the expanses of Instagram. You can see different images on the verge of sleep and reality in the video Up and Up called Play. At the same time, in the early 2000s, with a much smaller popularity, but in a similar style, was released video of Russian band Novosvelo, where the homeless giants are also organically inscribed into the urban landscape. Now we also see appearance of 3D models that break all the boundaries of the physical world, characterized by a strange rubber plastic rendering, collecting anthropomorphic images in unnatural situations, which encourage the audience to reflect on the fate of men in the digital world and the essence of things in general. In the marketing industry, we can think of a series of commercials from Old Spice.
Good in here.
That's because this block's beyond.
Sorry about that.
The most common form of spectacular animation nowadays is collage. The ancestors of this aesthetic were the Dadaists.
Abolition of logic, Dada. Abolition of memory, Dada.
In the pre-digital era, their technical method of creating a work of art included pieces of various materials – paper, fabric, and others, arranged and glued together in a certain way on a flat base – canvas, cardboard, paper. According to Claude Lévi-Strauss, bricolage logic acts like a kaleidoscope, creating a new figurative unity and integrity on the basis of fragments of previous human experience. Collage is the most adapted style to video animation. Firstly, it entered the art world in New Age. In Russia, we can remember the famous community called Leningrad Underground, appeared in the late 90s and early 2000s, connected to the first computer graphics. As well, we could remember the famous works of the group AES+F and the artist the Brelets. The keynote of these works is the combination of mythology and new technologies. The video of AES+F are essentially highly technical collages made up of references to the history of art and images of mass culture. In the trailer for the AES+F illustration film In Versa Mundus, inspired by 16th century engravings, a huge number of music videos in the spirit of postmodernism incorporated all previously known styles, webpunk, 8-bit aesthetics, along with 3D renderings, stickers, emoji, and even various footages like in Coca-Cola commercials.
Yes, no, yes, yes, no. Try it first.
Collage illustrations began to be used by almost all major digital Russian medias, as well as a large amount of Instagram art and stock garbage. Collages are such a strong graphic trend that they are starting to have a very strong influence of web design. Gradually, the web is moving away from boring, predictable rectangular shapes and rows of sandwich-like blocks. These outdated patterns are not as relevant as the design process associated with them. The basic structure of the page looks like a set of columns sandwiched between horizontal elements. On the plus side, this design allows you to instantly present any type of content in a familiar way, in parallel making the designer's work faster and easier. But what does this have to do with collages? In today's standard web design, identity depends entirely on content. Collaging helps create a close connection between form and content, emphasizing the content with sophisticated or experimental typography and intelligent interactivity. Glitch is a fundamental element of the new aesthetic. Glitch aestheticizes a programming error or bug that distorts the original image, thereby exposing its ephemerality and fragility. That's why it is present in one way or another in almost all of the styles and works I have shown. Glitch is not limited to the digital world. Experiments with distortion are carried out by Faye Ahmed, an artist who creates pixelated or glitch-affected carpets made in the traditional technique of Azerbaijani carpet weaving. Spatial glitch can be seen in Banksy's Dismaland project. You can see the glitch in the furniture design of Ferruccio Laviani. Glitch even gives birth to its own movement in painting, such as glitch art. The phenomenon of digital primitivism has proven popularity among ordinary users of the digital world, as well as among artists and advertising market. Initially poor, garbage images enter the broad stream of mass visuality and form the filter of visual experience. From all the forms of contemporary art, this one can be called the most in demand outside of it, even though it's belonging to bad taste and grassroots aesthetics. Among other things, digital primitivism's popularity is determined by its willingness to be part of various aesthetic collaborations. The impersonal world of the digital image needs to bring in elements of emotionality, nostalgia, marked by human experience. The childhood joy of recognizing a favorite cartoon or computer game character transfers the effect from the familiar space to the frightening and unfamiliar world of post-humanist reality.